Hey everyone, I'm Howard Pinsky, an Adobe community professional and a Photoshop instructor at iceflowstudios.com. So you've just downloaded Photoshop and you're looking to start editing some of the photos you've taken with your digital camera. Where do you begin? In this video, we're going to take a look at opening up an image in Photoshop and making some minor adjustments to prepare it for future edits. In order to follow along with this tutorial, you're going to need the latest version of Photoshop, which is part of the Creative Cloud, and an image. If you don't have a similar image available, you can use the image that we provided for you. With that said, let's get editing. If you already have an image in sight, either in Finder or Windows Explorer, you have the ability to simply drag that file right on top of the Photoshop icon. Otherwise, you can open your image using the Open Menu item under the File menu. Once an image or document has been dragged into Photoshop, the file will open in a tab across the top of your workspace. Now we're ready to edit. When it comes to working with photos, cropping and straightening your image is a great first step. This will not only allow you to remove unwanted areas of your photo, but it can also help correct crooked horizons or skylines. These tasks can easily be done using the crop tool, which can be found in your tools bar to the left. Once the crop tool has been selected, you should see the crop handles around the outside of your image. These will allow you to simply drag any of the handles inwards to chop off an area of your photo. You'll notice that when either side is pulled in, the area that's darkened will be removed, while the area that's still clear will remain. Now before the image is cropped, we should take a look at the options that come with the crop tool, which can be found on your options bar at the top. The first dropdown will give us a few options as to the aspect ratio of the crop. If you're looking for more control over your image, you can choose between ratio or width-height resolution. Ratio allows you to enter a specific aspect ratio in the fields to the right, such as 4:3 or 16:9. However, many of the more common aspect ratios are available back in the drop-down menu. Square, 4:5, 5:7, and so on. Selecting any of these will resize the crop area to match that ratio, and as you resize, the ratio remains constrained. Of course, if you'd like to crop your image but keep the same aspect ratio that it was shot at, you can select the original ratio option. This means if the image was taken with a 4:6 aspect ratio, if you were to drag any of your handles inwards, the final crop will remain 4:6. This is very useful if you specifically shot your images at a certain aspect ratio, but you don't want to stray away from it. The second option, width-height resolution, allows you to enter the exact dimensions of your crop. As an example, if you wanted to end up with a 1280 by 720 pixel document, you can simply enter those values in the fields to the right, and Photoshop will give you a constrained crop area, which you can then resize, and once the crop is applied, the image will end up at 1280 by 720 pixels. Of course, you're free to use any of the units that Photoshop supports, such as pixels, inches, centimeters, or millimeters. But before we apply the crop, there are two more options you want to take note of. First is straighten. Many times I found myself taking a picture of a horizon, only to realize that I took the picture on an angle. Instead of rotating the image and guessing if I corrected the mistake, I can now click on the straighten button right on the options bar, and then draw a line across my horizon. Photoshop will use that line to correct the image and show you a preview of what the final image is going to look like. Finally, the last option you'll want to look at is delete cropped pixels. If you think you may want to bring back some of the cropped area in the future, you're going to want to turn this option off. If you keep it on, once the crop is applied, those areas are going to be permanently deleted forever, so be careful. Alright, so now that the image is looking better, we can apply the crop by pressing the check mark on the options bar or the return key on your keyboard. Because we downsized this image to 1280 by 720, it may appear smaller on your workspace. If you find yourself in this situation, the zoom tool, or shortcut key Z, will show you a few display options up in your options bar. 100% will display the image at its exact dimensions, which in this case is 1280 by 720 pixels. Fit Screen will force the image to extend to the edges, but not beyond your workspace, even if it means zooming above or below 100%. And Fill Screen will extend the image to all edges of your workspace, which may hide portions of your image. Now these options can also be triggered with shortcut keys, which can be seen under the View menu. For example, Fit on Screen is Command 0 on the Mac or Control 0 on Windows. Now the last thing you want is to lose your photo. Let's go ahead and save it for safekeeping. Under the File menu, you can choose Save, give it a name, and then select a location. Photoshop allows you to save your documents in a variety of formats. By default, you're going to be saving it as a PSD, which is the standard Photoshop document. This is your best choice if you're working with layers and you think you may want to make changes later on. However, if you're wanting to save your photo to share with your friends, the Save for Web feature will allow you to save a copy in the common image formats for quick and easy sharing. You're going to see more of this dialog box in the last video of this series. And that completes it. Using the crop tool, we've been able to remove unwanted parts of the image and straighten out a once crooked scene. In the next few videos, we're going to take this photo to the next level by utilizing adjustment layers, layer masks, and a bit of content-aware magic. Thanks for watching.